Hello, guerreras and guerreros. As you can see, we are back in Hello Studios. We're so excited to be back. And you can also see that the suits are back.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So as you know, this is Laura and
Alex.
And today we're bringing you a very exciting episode on my Tokyo trip to Japan. So I was able to do a lot of fun things, such as going to a Meiji, sorry if we're mispronouncing it, Meiji Temple, and also Sailor Moon Museum, and many other fun items that I can't wait to talk about. So with that being said, let's get this show on the road.
All right, before we get started, I do want to ask Laura, how was her flight? How was her travel? That's a long travel. She came all the way from Japan for 2 weeks to come visit everybody. And so tell us about your travel and how everything went.
So it was a long flight. So as you guys can see, we're in person with each other. That's why we're here at Hello Studios. We're so excited to be back and in person. So we decided to take the opportunity to see each other, of course. Like, I could do anything less. But the flight itself was long. We had like a 1 hour flight to Tokyo and then a 10-hour flight to get here to the U.S. and specifically to Dallas. So we took the flight, and my daughter did really good. She's 3 years old, and she did really good. And up until the last 2 hours of the flight, that's when she really started getting antsy and was she literally actually ran around the cabin, and her dad and another little boy's dad, who was also running with her, were trying to catch him.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a little bit of a rough, but only the last 2 hours. Everything before that was really good considering her age.
I do want to show off my little niece because we took her to Escape the Room here in Dallas. Escape room, right? Mm-hmm. And then she was a total trooper. She gave my sister no fuss. Yeah. She was even trying to find clues with us. And I thought it was the cutest thing ever, but I think it goes back to parenting and instead of keeping the kids, all at home and no, you can't go out because you're going to act crazy. You actually take her out and show her the world. So I think it just has a lot to do with that. So I just wanted to show off that she's such a little trooper and she loves to travel.
Well, we're showing off parenting. I will say that we have not met a little girl like Cammie who is so sweet and nice to Lily.
Oh, my daughter.
Yes, your daughter. Your son is good with her too, but he has like his moments.
Oh, yes,
Cammie all the time is with her. So that's very, very good. And honestly, good on her part, because I can tell. They have an
awesome bond together.
They do. It's going to be hard to separate them.
I know. That's going to be the tough.
I know. Part. But it's been good. And also just wanted to have another quick little update. You wanted to let people know maybe of your accomplishment.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's been a while. It's been a minute, right, since we've talked. But I did pass all my exams. So I had one left, the PASL, the dreaded one. And I passed that one, so I'm on my way to get certified to be a principal. So I know it should be very soon. So I am going to start looking for jobs, and I'm going to be so excited. And as soon as I find one, I will let y'all know of, where I land. And I'm just so excited. So.
Yeah, congratulations. As I've said before in the podcast and in previous episodes, getting that certification is not easy. She makes it sound easy, but I know we have educators that listen to our podcast. You all know that in order to pass those tests and those certifications is a lot. So she's put on a lot of work and a lot of effort. So
blood, sweat, and tears, y'all. Blood, sweat, and tears. So I'm not going to make it sound easy because absolutely, it's not. But yes, just one thing that I could say, if you can take a message from all of my whole journey trying to get the certification, is that not to give up and keep persisting, because, it goes a long way once you see the fruits of your labor. It's just
when she told me she passed a certification, I was so excited for her, because I know that you had been putting in a lot of work.
Hours of studying and away from my kids, but it all pays off at the end. So I just hope that this inspires someone, to keep going. If you hit a rough patch, just dust yourself off and keep going, because you will
you can pass.
You will see the end results at the
You
end.
will succeed.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right, so back to our topic. Tokyo, tell me everything about.
Okay, so I have
travels.
so much to share about Tokyo with you all in case, especially like if anyone's planning a trip to Japan, normally like Tokyo is on the top of the list because a lot of the international flights, that is where you land. They have 2 airports that are international, so a lot of people's destination is Tokyo as soon as they get to Japan. So I have some very fun things that have been suggested from other foreigners. So just like me, other expats that are in Japan that have said, you need to do this. And then there's also some like locals, like some Japanese people that have told me like, you need to do this in Tokyo. So I feel like I did the best of both worlds, like local things and also like touristy things. So here's my experience and my recommendation. So we'll go ahead and get started. So I think the first thing that I want to let everybody know is about Owl Cafe. So I don't know if you saw pictures of Lily holding an owl.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No,
Okay. I need to post it in my post and not just a story. But we went to a cafe that is like real barn owls are inside the cafe.
What?
So you get a drink. So my husband got a beer and I don't remember what drink I got. And then Lily got a chocolate milk. But you get a drink and then there's owls, like real owls around you. So I had looked at it online. I had booked it. And I thought, okay, you get your coffee and your drink. And then there's like this like open area for the owls. That's what I saw online. But like as soon as you walk in, they have like this tatami. So it's like where you take off your shoes and you like sit down like to drink like tea or coffee and like this small table. So they tell us like, this is your place. And by the way, for those that are interested in doing this, you have to make a reservation before and online. And it may be in Japanese, but just translate the website. I didn't have a problem once I translated the website to English to being able to book and reserve something.
Oh, wow.
So you reserve it because I saw some people walking in that day and they're like, oh, we're so sorry. This is reservation only. So a lot of the area that we were in that are like themed cafes is called Harajuku in Tokyo. They have a lot of other themes. But the one we really wanted to do was owls because we thought Lily would like it because she likes birds. And as soon as we walk in, we thought we were going to go to this other area and see the owls. So then as I sit down and like Lily starts like I just saw Lily like go super fast, like in front of me. And I was like my brain didn't register everything until I saw this owl like puff up.
Oh my goodness.
And it was sitting right next to our seat. My husband has a picture with his beer and then the owl was like literally sitting right next to him. It was so wild. Like, and then when it puffed up, it got scared because Lily just charged at him. And I was telling my husband, I thought the owls were going to be like in a separate room. I didn't know they were going to be sitting right next to us.
Wow.
So then we were like nervous because I was like in mom mode. I was like, I need to defend my child. Like she's about to get bit by this owl. But of course she was fine. The owl just, because she went so fast, he like puffed up like to protect itself. And then we went to a lady, the worker that works there. And my husband really wanted to touch it. So he's like, is it okay we touch this owl? So the lady says, which I think is so not like in America. So FYI for you all that are going to think this is strange. She said, yes, you can touch him. He bites sometimes, but you can touch him.
Oh my gosh, no thanks.
So in America, like, no, they would be like, no, you can't touch him, like liability, like so much stuff. But like there, they just warn you, like, yeah, you can touch him, but he sometimes bites you.
Oh my goodness.
So anyways, kind of like that was a little bit interesting, but to kind of wrap it up is we ended up having our drink next to our owl and then other owls are flying around you, which I didn't know that happened either.
Okay. The question that probably everybody's thinking, do they poop like anywhere?
They do poop, but they don't poop it while they're flying there. I don't know how they train them. Or I don't know if maybe we got lucky.
Can you imagine you're drinking your beer and then out of nowhere?
Or I don't know if they don't poop. We got lucky and they didn't poop on us. They did not poop on us. But there is an area like where you go. It's like a little room. Like they're right next to each other. You go to the other room and they're all standing like on a bar. Like when you're in a ballerina and there's like bars. Like they're like that, but like they're all standing there. But they have so many different kinds of like owls. And then depending on what type of owl it is, they like being rubbed in a different way. So if it's like those really big owls, they like the back. If it's the farm owls that are white, you rub their cheeks.
Did you touch them? Because my sister's a scaredy cat.
I am a scaredy cat, but I only touched the ones that looked like a little bit medium size, not large size. And then you can wear a glove, and then they will like land on you, and you can take pictures with them. So I got a medium one, my husband got a large one, and then Lily got like a tiny little one.
You're going to have to post it because
I can't believe
stories get deleted, or put it on your highlights or something.
Okay.
Remember, guys, at Driven Latinas on Instagram.
Yeah, that's true. That's where you can find us. But anyways, okay, so that was a pretty cool experience, and I will say that was actually Lily's favorite experience. So Owl Cafe, I know that that we may have some people that are like super big on animals, and they may say that, oh, animal cruelty or whatever. But honestly, like these animals looked happy, and the trainers like truly looked like they had a passion for the owls. Like they would call them by name, or they would be silly with them. Like when the owls were like flying too close to our heads, they would be like, like no, no, no. And I felt like the owls were being taken care of, and like the ladies that worked there truly had a passion for those animals and caring for them and making sure that they were also feeling comfortable, even with the people. So, okay.
That's good to hear.
That's my first thing I wanted to share, Owl Cafe. And there's a lot of different other cafes. That was, again, the area's Harajuku. It is, if you close your eyes and think of like a Japan image, like it's the one that you see so many like thousands of people walking through. Like it's just one street, but it has a lot of like fun things happening. Like there's cosplay, and then there's also food, and there's like super packed, but it's like one line only. I will say one thing that I learned about Tokyo that is a misconception, and maybe you all have that too, is that I used to think like Tokyo was like all these things you see, like Godzilla, which also we went to, and you see like all these like iconic, like the unicorn Gundam, like all of these iconic things. You think like, oh, they're all like in the same city, but actually, if you think about Tokyo is like a state. And then all these other little cities are separate from each other. So it's like a 30-minute drive. So imagine like Dallas and Frisco and Plano, like they're all a little bit far away. That's how these iconic places are. So you really have to like plan out your trip, because it's not all in the same area. It's not the same city. It's actually like a state, and you kind of are driving around to different areas. But okay, anyways, going on to one of Lily's, if you have kids that are young, I think they would like it, but maybe like 3 years and up. Lily was 2 when we took her. It's called the Unko Museum. So that's Japanese for poop. What? Poop.
Speaking of poop,
we also went to the Poop Museum, and very different experience. As soon as you go inside, they make you sit in a fake toilet, and it's funny because they have a sign that says, "This is not a real toilet."
Really?
Yeah, like because they have to confirm, like, people don't sit and poop here. But then you have to sit on the toilet, and then you have to pretend you're squeezing, and then you get a souvenir, and it's a poop. And you get to, like, a poop emoji, and you get to take it home. But anyways, this was a little bit confusing to Lily because we were potty training her, so she didn't have the best of the experience, but it was still good. They have a lot of, like, different, like poop stuff. I'll have to do a reel about it or a TikTok about it so everyone can see like the different sections. But it's definitely Japanese, definitely unique experience at the Poop Museum. And they even had like this little tea set, like where people can drink tea, but everything was poop. It was really weird, but it was fun too. They had like little activities for the kids, but not Lily's favorite. The Owl Cafe was Lily's favorite. So if you have a really young one, like Lily's 3, then I think they would really, or 3 or under, they would really enjoy the Owl Cafe. And also other kids, I think, that are a little bit older and a little bit less scared of them. Okay. So so that was a Poop Museum. That's another one. Again, very only Japanese, like, kind of place. I've never seen anything. Let me just ask,
what is the point of going there? Is it to learn about poop, or
no,
just like the history of poop?
That's a really good question, because it does say Poop Museum. That's a great question. It's not to learn about poop. It is just a funny like activities for kids to do different things regarding poop. So
because they are being potty trained or just in general?
Just in general. So like even your kids can go and there's like a ball pit. So it's
I
like
see.
a fun little place for kids. There's like a poop, like flying poop. It's a lot of photo ops. So you can take a picture like next to the flying poop. You can take a picture. There's a poop market. So it's a photo op like with a poop market, and there's like chips of poop and like cans of poop. And then there's, I know it is like so random. There's a huge wall that says poop, but in all these different languages that you can take a picture in. And then there's activities. So like games that the kids like can squish on the poop, or like different like little rooms for them to do different things, or like video game kind of with poop. So it's, I guess
it's different. Let's just say that.
The best way I can explain it is like a Chuck E. Cheese, but not with vending machines, with other kinds of activities. So
okay, moving on to the next.
Moving on. This next one I am super excited to talk about, because if you all know me, especially from my childhood, you all know that we are super huge fans of Sailor Moon. Like, we watched Sailor Moon when we were little, like, every single day after school at 4:30 when we would get out. It was back in our local channel, and me, my sister, so I have 3 sisters, so there's 4 of us. So there's 2 more sisters, and my brother, we would always watch the Sailor Moon, and we would jump with a theme song, like Fighting Evil by Moonlight. So we would like jump on the couch, jump out of the couch, and then like each one of us was a Sailor Scout. And I was Sailor Moon, and my sister was Sailor Mercury, and then we had my other sister, Sailor Venus, Sailor Mars, and we just loved it. Oh, by the way, we found Sailor Jupiter. Lily's favorite Sailor Scout is Sailor Jupiter.
Nice.
I was like, we found the missing piece. Anyways, so I find out that the 30th anniversary of Sailor Moon is happening in Tokyo, but it's only for a limited time. So I literally went on the last day that the museum was open, and they put up like their biggest art collection. They had like the Sailor Moon outfits apparently in Japan. Oh, and maybe some of you all don't know this, so I need to say this. Like the anime originated in Japan. So I wanted to make sure to say that. Like it originated in Japan, and I wrote her name down, so I wanted to give her all the credit. Naoko Takeuchi is who created the Sailor Moon series, and she was born in 1967. And that's important because her thinking is like super advanced for her time. Like way back in 1967, she was born. And just so you guys know a little bit of history about her, because I'm like so obsessed with Sailor Moon, I feel like you all would appreciate it more if I talk a little bit about the history. So this lady, it was not normal for a woman to be a manga creator, like an anime creator. That's not normal. It was only men at the time. So she really liked to draw, and she told her dad, I want to be an artist. And her dad said, you should probably like think of something else, like a real job, because why would you, like a female, be into this, whatever. So she ended up, she was writing like small comics, and actually Sailor Venus was before Sailor Moon, like Sailor Venus comic was before. So then she wrote the manga, whatever. Then her dad told her that. So then she said, okay, I'll go to college. So she ended up majoring in chemistry. So this is important because if I have any Sailor Moon fans out there, you may remember like some of the episodes were about rocks and chemicals and stuff like that. It's because she was pulling it out of her like degree that she went to school for. Oh, wow. And then she would put it into like the movies, and even a lot of like the elements were named after like things that she studied in school. So she listened to her dad, went to school, but then ended up saying like, hey, no, I actually really like drawing and doing this. So then she ended up coming up with Sailor Moon, who became super popular. And she had a lot of people against her. Like she would say like a lot of men, like older men who had been doing it a lot longer, they're like, women, like, what do you mean? Like, they're all going to be beautiful? Like, why would you make all beautiful? Like, you need to have like someone with glasses, or somebody who's like different looking or dorky. Like, it cannot just be like these beautiful women. So she was like, but why not? Like, why can't there be superheroes that are all beautiful? And so she wanted Sailor Moon to have like white hair. And they also were like, no, like she has to have yellow hair. Anyways, basically they were like taking away her creative side. They were like really wanting her to follow a certain role, and she did to some point. But one of the things that she was super advanced for her time, besides, breaking barriers and being one of the first anime females, is that she also was the one who also had a gay like couple. So a lot of you may not know this, because when we watched it when we were kids, these episodes were taken away.
Oh, I
when
see.
They came
filtered
to the
out.
Yes, when they came to the US, these episodes were filtered out, but it was about Sailor Uranus and Sailor Saturn were actually like in love with each other. So it's like a lesbian couple like on anime, and this was not okay for the US, so they filtered out these episodes. But if you all go now, you can go on Netflix and you can see Sailor Moon Crystal, and those are the unedited episodes of Sailor Moon. So I think if anyone's out there that you used to watch it when you were little, want to watch it again, please watch those episodes. Those are the unfiltered ones, and they have like this relationship couple. Anyways, I know I don't want to geek out too much about her, but I went to the museum. I love the artist. I love everything about like seeing the creation of the anime, and especially doing it with Lily was so special to me, because I'd be like, Mommy used to watch the show when she was little, like, and just like telling her like a woman created this and understood the common language across the world, and why Sailor Moon was so famous was love, like partnership, love, like, with her friends, and even with like Tuxedo Mask. So everyone around the globe loved Sailor Moon, and even some people still to this day. So I wanted to say that was probably that was my favorite thing that I did in Tokyo, was visit the Sailor Moon Museum. And I will share like, a video about that too, like a reel or a TikTok about it, so you all can have a little bit more background on it. Very cool. Musicals were super famous, so they had a lot of the costume attire in there as well, which was super awesome.
Did you learn all this history from the museum experience?
So no, I actually, because I'm in Japan, people like told me about it. Like, I had other like colleagues that I'm like, oh, I like Sailor Moon, and they're like, oh, did you know this and this and this, and did you know this about the manga creator and this and that, and I didn't know it. I was like, oh, I didn't, but that makes me love it even more, that this person was like a female, and she was one of the first ones, and she went against the grain, and she became like one of the most famous hits of anime of all time. So then when they told me that, I started doing my like own research and like researching information about her. And then that's when I was like, wow, like that's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's a lot of fun facts that people just overlook, because again, we were
small when we first watched it.
Yeah.
30-year anniversary. That's how long it's been around, for 30 years.
Wow.
It was a 30-year anniversary. Okay, so that was Sailor Moon. Again, people watch it. If you want to watch it again with like no edits out of the episodes, it's actually a much better story than what we were given as children.
Wait, what's next? Is the hot springs?
No, not that one. That I went in a different part of Japan. Yeah,
I went. Oh my goodness! Yeah, are you gonna talk about that one on this episode or the next one?
Maybe the next one, because that's not Tokyo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Niseko, but that was definitely. Or I can talk about it now and like just tell everybody about my experience.
Okay, let's wrap up Tokyo, and then you can add that as a
added bonus.
Exact added
bonus. Fun bonus. Okay, so just I guess the other. There's so many fun things, but I have to limit it, right? Because there were limited time. But Meiji Temple is the last one I wanted to talk about today, and it's about it's new. It was New Year's timing when we went, so this is one of the most famous visited temples, like because when they kind of the Japanese tradition is like New Year, you welcome it in a temple, and they have this tradition where you throw coins into like this water in front of the temple, and then your wishes are to become true for the new year. So that I love like traditional things. My husband loves food and I love like traditional like cultural stuff. And so we went because of me. And we got so lucky, by the way, guys. Like we skipped, like there was a long line, but they saw we had a stroller and we skipped the whole line. Anyways, we got lucky. And then we went in there. Everything was super organized. And there's a specific way before you give the coins to the water. Like you have to clap and bow. And so my husband and I did in true traditional Japanese style. And then we threw our coins in and we wished, you know, our wishes for the new year. So that was a beautiful experience to experience it. And also with a lot of the other like Japanese, like, you know, people, it was just a very nice experience. So I will say peace and meditation wise, like I guess mental, you know, peace, that was like a very beautiful experience. Like a
spiritual experience. I love that. That is one of the things that I told my sister I would definitely want to do is the temples and just, you know, natural healing, spiritual healing. I'm all for it. I'm excited.
Okay, so now for the bonus.
Yes, added bonus.
Added bonus for you all. I'll talk a little bit about Niseko. So if we want to think about Hokkaido is like the big area, then Sapporo. And then Niseko is 2 hours away. And I'm saying for in case people know like Japan's like cities are kind of like, they call them prefectures, but like kind of like cities. We were in Sapporo, landed there in a flight. This is in snow, by the way. Like a lot of fluffy, beautiful snow. But then we were a little bit extra because we went with our local friends, Japanese friends that know. And we drove 2.5 hours to this place called Niseko. And this is where all of the super like snowboarding fanatics go to. Like literally, when we were there, we saw so many foreigners, the most foreigners we have ever seen. You have people from Colorado, New Zealand, Australia that they love snowboarding. Anyways, the snow was super huge. But the bonus part is the bonus part is that this was the first time I went on an onsen. So my sister was like, "What's that?" It's a hot spring. So in case you all don't know, which maybe you don't, in order to get into these places, you have to be naked, like completely naked. So this is, and the reason why is because of the, like, it's like literally natural, like the water, it's like a jacuzzi, but like, it's not like plugged into any electricity. It's just like natural, right? So they want like the cultural thing to do is to just go in there naturally, which is like without any clothes and, experience like this super hot water. It's like a jacuzzi. And then it's also outside. So I'm literally like in the freaking snow and I've been wanting to do this, but I was scared because I didn't know what to do. So lucky for me, I had someone I went with. And I know this is going to sound so weird to so many people. Like, what? This is so weird. But it actually was a wonderful experience.
I will say this. I don't think I would be immersed in that.
I think a lot of people will say that.
Cultural part.
Will say that until they do it. And then once you do it, you're like, I get it. Like, nobody is judging. Nobody is looking at anybody's naked body. Everybody's just there to relax and be in their own little space, in their own little, like, meditational world. Nobody's looking at you. Like, you can, like, I was very nervous. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I was like, I really want to do this because I know, like, I wanted to experience this part of the culture, but I'm a little bit shy. But I went in.
But you know what? These are the type of things that you learn, you know, by only being able to visit and be immersed in all of that culture.
Yeah.
Because to them, like you said, it's just a normal Tuesday. And for us, it's like, what?
Yeah, literally, like, it is like a normal Tuesday. Like, people go normally, like, many Japanese people love hot springs or onsens, and they go, like, once a week is what I've been hearing. Like, it's kind of the norm. It's very normal. And once you do it.
So it would be like us going and getting, like, a massage or getting our nails done. Like, that's their way of self-care.
And, like, they, like, the way the body is, it's like, it's just a body. Like, they feel, like, I feel
like a vessel. Like, it's just.
Yeah, like, it's just, like, everybody has a body. Like, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. Like, you should just, like, feel empowered to just be there in your natural state, per se, and go in there. So
interesting.
That was.
We won't be sharing any reels from that day. Sorry. But
oh my gosh,
we will share the
we
snow.
cannot take any pictures, by the way, in case anybody of you all do. Okay, in case, so we have world travelers here. In case anybody wants to actually do this, I have to tell you guys like the rules. Do not take your phone. Do not take your phone. That is forbidden. Anything that's not natural or innate part of nature, do not take. Like pretty much you're just butt naked. And then you go in, you shower, you rinse off your body. You can wash your hair too and your face. Then you get into like kind of like a jacuzzi to lower down to either higher or lower I guess it's higher your heart rate. And before you go outside to the snow, and then you go outside and then you walk slowly because you can slip. And then you go into the water and the water's going to be like waist level. But of course, like you can tuck in and be like super warm. But I'll tell you, if you go in the winter, it's the most beautiful thing I have seen. Like literally water, vapor floating, and snow. And not only like snow, like this is one of the best powdered snows in the world. It's like 4 inches big around you.
Wow.
It is so freaking
gorgeous.
Beautiful. And the reason why people do it is because it's so like calming, like your legs literally feel like noodles. Like it's so relaxing. Like I walked out of there like the most relaxed I have ever felt. And I also feel like the minerals help you be younger. Like that's just me though. Nobody's told me that. But I just feel like a lot of Japanese people look super young. So that's just my thinking.
It's a state of mind.
Yeah,
okay.
I think the water helps you with the minerals, like stay young. I don't know, that's true. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, so basically that was probably what was your favorite part of Tokyo? Back to Tokyo because we got to wrap up.
Oh yeah. Okay, Tokyo. My favorite part was the Sailor Moon Museum for sure. Lily's favorite part was the Owl Cafe, and my husband, which I didn't get to talk about, but my husband was food. He loves to try all this different food and going to fish markets super early in the morning. So that's for sure has to be his favorite. And then Niseko. So if you want to talk about overall Japan experiences, I would say Niseko Onsen was, you guys may be shocked, my favorite experience so far. And I know that's a wild thing for us to consider, but for me, like that has been my favorite part in all of Japan, is just experiencing the onsen and that peace. I feel like,
I mean, how more authentic can you get, right?
I know, right? I'm just
literally fully immersed.
Oh yeah,
from head to toe. All right, so is there anything else you want to add?
Yes, when you said fully immersed, I thought about something. I'm so sorry. Because this is also something that is a must do if you all go, but it is Planet Tokyo. It is literally like a fully immersed. That's why I remember it. It's a fully immersed experience of like when you're going through like these different areas. Like there was one where we were in water and there was holographic fish on it. I'll also have to make a TikTok about it so you guys can see that Planet Tokyo was so awesome too. But anyways, I remember that
especially for kids, because
for kids, it's a must. Out of all of the things for kids, like everyone has told me, like that is a must. And the parents, you will enjoy your kids' reactions to all of these like amazing areas. Like there was one that was full of flowers, like everywhere. So it's like a unreal experience because it's like mirrors everywhere. So it literally looks like you're everywhere. And then there's a place where you just lay down on your back and watch like flowers like bloom all around you.
That's amazing. Well, yes, please share those reels. Remember to follow us on @DrivenLatinas on Instagram and @DrivenLatinas on TikTok.
That's right. Well, with that being said, thank you all so much. And remember, somos hermanas, and together we are Driven Latinas.